Good day. Today we are back on the BroBryceGardens channel, and I wanted to do my first composting fruit processor video where I actually show it. I've talked about it before, but I actually want to show it today. Today I'm using a Ninja Pro System 1100 kitchen blender, and just want to show you how it's not that difficult to make a good amount of finely ground compost that your worms can use right away. And whatever is left over, like for instance, I can only feed my worms like a handful of this stuff, and the rest of it I can put into my other compost bins to refine it. So it'll add a lot to it, and it'll also add some moisture. So today I just want to show you what I've got. So I've got some coffee grounds here, which I'm not going to put in right away. I've got some cold coffee. This I wouldn't say don't put like dairy creamer or sweeteners in here. I've got some what they call stevia, which is basically a leaf extract sweetener type thing, and I'm using that in there. But I've got soy milk. I wouldn't put dairy products of any kind in there. I've got in here, I've got some leaf scraps from me trimming. I've got some pickles left over from my pickle relish project yesterday. There's a little bit of cilantro in here from Julie's smoothie. Here's some of last week's coffee grounds, and some eggshells here. I want to make sure we get these like plastic scraps out of here. Don't want to have plastic stuff in there. And here's an apple core. So anything fruits and veggie wise, note that you want to keep your acid level down in your thing. So maybe not super heavy on tomatoes, maybe not super heavy on citrus, but with it all blended in here, it creates a pretty good mix. So first off, we're going to start off with the leafy moist stuff. So we're just going to stick that in there. Let's go ahead and put that in there. Some of this stuff was just wilty, nasty lettuce that I didn't want to put in salads. Or this one here, like I just dropped it on the floor. I didn't want to put that in the salad. So dump the rest of this stuff in there. There we go. And we'll start with that. And go ahead and fasten this down. Power that up. Blend. Okay, so you can see that there's just not enough moisture in there to be able to really circulate it and create that vortex in the middle of your blender, which is why I busted out the cold coffee. So what's left of the cold coffee from here, pour that in there. That's great. And got my coffee maker here, a little extra cold coffee in there. Pour that in the cup and pour that right in here. Just kind of let that get around there. Groovy. Okay. I'm going to throw this apple core in there. Let's see how that goes. Should probably get a good solid wet mix here first. Oh yeah, that's great. That's nice and liquidy. That's what we want. We want to get that going first before we start adding the other more dry ingredients. So got some coffee grounds here, straight out of the coffee maker. Just go ahead and dump that right in there. Okay. Get rid of that, and I'll start adding some eggshells in here. Worms love eggshells, but I will say they're really hard for them to break down because they don't have teeth. So the finer that you can crush them, the easier it will be for them to eat. I got some little strawberry tops here. I'm putting strawberries in salads and stuff. Let's make sure to get all the little scrappy things out of that bowl there. Okay, got that. And then over here, I got the trimmings from my strawberries here, so that's from this morning. I'll put all that in there. And you might notice that I'm not really waiting for it to be broke down and decomposed, because with it being this mushy out in the elements, it's going to start to break down really fast, and the worms just dig it. The worms dig it. So don't be so worried about whether or not your stuff has already started to decompose before you add it to the worms if you are blending it up like this. There you go. Okay, I'm going to take things just a step further. Just bear with me for just a second. I know this is going to sound crazy, but this is some leaves and scraps from out in my yard. This is from a tree of heaven, which is basically like a weed tree that will take over your yard. So I'm gonna get rid of it in perhaps the most productive way that I know how. And so that is going to be by adding these leaves and these stems and stuff right into my Ninja blender. I love this. Yeah, I'm going to have a mess to clean up in the kitchen here for this. Perhaps this could be better done outside, but I just wanted to show you, like, you can really get versatile with your compost. Because the more different kinds of stuff you have in there, the more your worms are going to dig it. And the better your soil will be, because you have more versatile types of elements in there. So let's go ahead and stick this right back on top here. Yeah, I'm going to have a mess to clean up. Alright, here we go. Down in there, but most of it is really blended up already. Okay, got one or two leaves there. Let's grab this stuff and break it down and shove it down in there. I got a big handful of these leaves when I went out there, so I'm going to go ahead and just shove these all down in there, because I got a nice liquidy paste in here, and I can maybe add a little bit of water. And even if I don't feed all of this to the worms, I'll feed a good amount to the worms, and the rest I'll put in with my regular thermal composting. Get this other leaf scrap up off the floor here. There we go. More leaves. Okay, and then I'll add some of my purified water to it. There we go. You can always strain it if it's got too much water, but probably everything in there is good for it. Strain out the parts that you're going to feed to the worms, maybe, I don't know. But worms like moisture too. Okay, turn the power on. Oh yeah! Push this down with the rubber spatula. Got it mostly broke down already. Looking pretty good. Just a little bit of this doesn't want to push all the way down in there, so we will force the issue. There we go. Get that down in there. Into the water, if you can, into the moisture parts. There we go. Push all that down there. And you know, I have a separate pitcher for food products and a separate one for that we use for blending, so that keeps my wife from killing me. But the important thing to remember is that, you know, like, because I'm using this separately and I only use this for the compost, this particular pitcher, I just hose it out at the end. There we go. Now I wouldn't put like branches, you know, thick branches in there, but twigs and stuff that's small that can be, you know, easily chopped up. No bigger than any vegetables you would ever put in here. But once you're done, let's get a load of this. Let's have a look and see what's inside here. There's still a couple branches, little twigs and stuff in here. You can see that most of it is almost like, well, it's almost like pickle relish, right? It's a kind of a fine, squishy consistency here. We can push these back down in here, maybe give it one more time. Give it a look. There we go, throw that in there. Get all that pushed back down in there. There we go. Put our blender back together. And ooh, it popped. Okay, so once again, let's get a look at this, see what she's going to look like. and our twigs are mostly chopped up for the most part. So we can easily give this to our worms. And just remember that you want to take your blades out of your blender before you start feeding your worms, because you don't want big knife blades landing on your worms. Anyway, just take this thing, pour most of it out, pour a good chunk of it out into your worm bin, pour whatever's left, whatever you don't think the worms can finish inside of a week, pour the rest of it into your other compost, and that's it. 15 minutes worth of work for excellent compost for those worms. So please be sure to check out the previous video that I did last week, and that'll be over there, and then you can check out next week's video right over here. Once that's available, there should be a link for it right there. You can click subscribe if you like this video, and pretty soon we're going to work on a Facebook page. So once I have a Facebook page set up for the BroBryceGardens channel, then I'm going to put the link right here on the end of my finger. Okay, so hey, hope to see you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.